Hi, good morning. Lovely to have you all here. I'm Josephine from the Maria 01 team. Very excited to have this many people around. So most of you've already found yourselves with a breakfast. That's great. Just please have more. There's coffee and tea. And if you feel like having new swag today, just scan the QR code, answer a few questions, and you can get lovely stuff from there in the behind. The answers will help us to cater to you more better and in detail. So please, it'll be very helpful. So let's kick off. First off, we'll have Microsoft here. We have Mika and Inari coming on stage to tell us more about their Microsoft's startup program and how startups like yourselves can scale and grow with their program, and explain a bit about how you can utilize their marketplace.
Super excited to be here joining this community a little over a month ago, and now on the stage after the pandemic. So I think it's over 2 years since talking to the live audience. But it's really great that loads of people showed up, and welcome. And hey, we are here today talking about what we can offer for startups. A program, I will tell you about that one, and then go into the how our commercial marketplace, how you can scale your sales through it, and my colleague Inari Bergius will tell you about that. But I think once again, welcome, and here's also our LinkedIn profiles. You probably get this material later, so if we haven't contacted in LinkedIn yet, so please send us an invitation. It's a good way to maybe set up a meetings, and we can definitely discuss more about these things that we are presenting today. But let's kick off, and first I would like to one slide about our Microsoft Cloud offering. Like can definitely say that it's the most trusted and comprehensive cloud, and there's a huge offering from modern work to data and AI security, and this is kind of like a two-way approach. It's also what you can leverage as a platform, developing your applications and your things that you are selling to your customers, and also that you can leverage when running your business. And other thing is that you consider is that this is something that are many of our customers using, especially enterprise customers, and those are most likely the ones that you are also selling. So that is also something that they already using our products, and this is one good way also to think about going to the market and start selling for them. And this is something that Inari will tell you later. And of course, there's a sustainability on top of that, and then we have Then we provide certain cloud offerings prepared for certain verticals that you can see on the top, like for retail, manufacturing. So this is just a glimpse of the offering that we have. This is something that I could probably discuss the whole presentation, but this is something definitely also that reach out if you want to hear more, and what it means for your business. But hey, let's go to what we offer for the startups. We launched this Founders Hub offering, I think it was in end of October, to preview, and now in March it's in general availability. And I think some of you might already apply to it, and this is a good way to start leveraging our technology. And I would say that some years ago, and we have been discussing that kind of like the cloud offering democratizes like a technology. You can use the certain technologies that have been mainly used by enterprises, by cloud services, since it's easier to deploy, and also the costs are not that big. So I would say that this is something that we are hoping to do for the startups also, removing the barriers to use our technology and start inventing on our platform. And the offering is 3 ways. It's one is built on your own terms. We are providing our technology like an Azure credits, Microsoft 365, GitHub, Visual Studio, these licenses for you to use. And next part is helping to leverage the opportunities to access customers and capital. That means like the Microsoft channels and marketplaces that Inari will tell you more, and also some information help how you could leverage the investors and in what part. And third part is navigate with personalized guidance. It's about also technical sessions, how you should kind of like build planning your learning paths, leveraging our technology and how to use it. But here's a little bit deeper on what these three things consist. So it's this build on your own terms. It's about build your product, and there's a possibility to get up to 150K Azure credits over 4 years. That timeline, that has been something that has been asked quite a lot, how long this program is going. Well, if you come like in an idea stage, and then you move, there's 4 levels of this program. If you go all those levels, then it's 4 years, but it's a little bit different depending on what stage you are coming, or is it something that you are already have a product and you are starting to grow and use credits for that, then it's a little bit different. So it's 1 to 4 years, and definitely I'm happy to discuss more and about your situation and what is the status of yours. And also Visual Studio, GitHub, that are part of our offering. And then we provide for a year licenses to run your business. That means Microsoft 365, including themes, Power Platform, and Dynamics 365. And then this personal guidance part, it's you technical advisors. When you are accepted in the program, you get access to the Founders Hub portal, and there you can kind of like do all these like going level up when you see that your kind of like maturity as a company has changed and you are applying for more credits, or then you can also from there go to these technical sessions. And when you are in the program, you also get access to the like this ticket-based technical help for Azure, like a basic standard support that you can get help for your technical questions, and access to mentors depending on what kind of help you need. There's will be held events and workshops. You get information of those, and like I mentioned, this Azure standard support is included this program. And then about these opportunities, say that I think in not going deeper in these, Inari will tell you about the marketplace and scaling and what this is about, but this is one part of the program also to get guidance and help how to leverage that. Here's some guidelines about the program, what are kind of like basic things that you need to have when applying to this. So basically the first is that you have some IP, software-based product that you're selling. You are not selling someone else's licenses, for example. And your startup must be privately held, and it's not educational institution, governmental entity, or this kind of thing. Fourth thing is that if you have been in some other Microsoft for startups or that kind of programs and get over 10K of credits through that, then it's kind of like we see that you have already been in the program and received credits through that. So those are the four things. But otherwise, I think it's a really easy way to start leveraging our platform, and it's through this link, Microsoft for Startups. Go there, make an application. It shouldn't take more than 10 to 15 minutes. It's quite simple. At least that is also what I've been heard from the people applying for this program, that it doesn't take that much time and there's not that many complicated questions. And then you get we check the status that you are in, and you get information of the level that you are in and get access to the portal and can start leveraging that. And yeah. this was my part, and we have a Q&A session at the end, so if there's any questions, so feel free to ask, so we'll reply to them. But thank you. I'll hand it over to Inari.
Thank you, Mika. All right, so I'm working as an Azure specialist at Microsoft. I used to also work with partners previously, so I'm now a little bit in the middle. But here to introduce you the commercial marketplace, what it means, what are the opportunities, and how to get started. And of course, as we are Microsoft, everything is super corporate and confusing, and that's why I have this one slider. So I'm trying to get everything or have everything in one slide, but it ended up looking horrible. But let me explain. So the whole point of having one commercial marketplace is to have a web store or a storefront or one catalog to combine every partner solutions that we have. So partners, as in publishers, as in companies that have built on top of our technologies, are on the other side, and then buyers, which mean our customers that have some kind of connection or contract with Microsoft, are on the other side. And the point of having the solutions in one catalog or in one place is to actually make the connection with publishers and our customers a little bit easier. So the incentive or the reason why the companies have integrated with our platform and with our catalog before is that actually, for example, bigger companies, bigger enterprise companies can then buy the partner solutions into their own Microsoft contract. So, for example, if I'm a huge car manufacturer company and I want to build something to help our admin team to manage the contracts easier, it's probably a small software solution. And actually, to make the procurement part easier, I can go to Microsoft App Source, which is our partner catalog, and then buy it from there. So then I will then have the billing and everything on my Microsoft contract. So that makes the buying to my procurement team easier, and then selling to that partner easier, because they don't need to have that contract or vetting discussion with that big buyer anymore. So and it's a little bit small. So as you can see, you can publish software as a solution, software as a service solutions, platform or infrastructure as a service too, if you have that kind of a product. Services. So if you are building your consulting on top of Microsoft product, that's also possible. And then add-ins such as Cuckoo Workout and Teams. So if you have some add-ins that, so you are integrating with our Dynamics or Teams or some kind of other workload, then you can publish your solution there too. And we handle the taxation, we handle the contract parts. We try to make the buying as easy as possible for our buyers. So through the catalog, you can reach the customers directly. So we are not doing anything in between. We are just handling the back-end businesses, and then you do the sales. But then there's, of course, possibilities to share your pipeline with Microsoft sellers. So then you can have insights from Microsoft account teams about your customer that you are talking with. So there's multiple possibilities, but the whole point of having this one commercial marketplace is to combine publishers, so partner solutions, with our buyers. Make the business easier. So yeah, by integrating your solution in the platform, it's one channel amongst the others. So I don't want you to integrate with our platform just because of I had a nice pitch or just because it looks interesting. I want you to consider the business opportunities that are coming through that platform. So for example, the example that I gave you, making the customer's procurement easier by getting your solution in their Microsoft contract. that's, for example, one very legit business reason why most of our software as a service partners are integrating with our platform. So yeah, one extra channel, one more opportunity to make business. And what it means, what you can actually reach. I said, that's a opportunity to reach more customers, of course, make the buying or procurement easier. And that's the basic model where most of our partners operate. But then we have also partnering opportunities. So as I said, there's software solutions, but there's also partner consulting offers in that platform. So it's also for you, if you want to have a consulting partner, if you are looking for it, it's also a way to source a consulting partner for you and then be in contact with them. Of course, there's also possibility for only top partners then to collaborate with our Microsoft sellers and then scale through those kind of like insiders. So which means the field sellers, the smallest circle here. So like I said, that's the opportunity to reach over 12,000 enterprise customers, the biggest customers that we are operating with. And that's the program where you can actually share your own pipeline with the enterprise customers with Microsoft account teams, and then get more customer insights, get more get your app in get your app included into Microsoft Story, for example. The collaboration or means of collaboration, there are many. But like I said, it's not only a possibility to do business with your customers, but it's also a partnering opportunity and an opportunity to get inside knowledge about the biggest enterprise customers there are in the world. I have been talking about commercial marketplace, and there are so many terms which can be a little bit confusing. But why I have this slide is to explain how the marketplace works. So we have actually one commercial marketplace as an umbrella term, but then two storefronts. So we have AppSource. You can just write appsource.microsoft.com. That's probably the URL, if I remember correctly. And that's for the business users. So from there, you can actually spot most of the consulting offers, most of the add-ins. For example, Cuckoo Workout is there. Most of the business software as a service solutions are actually found from the AppSource. But then if your product is more focused on the developer or IT audience, so if you are building a managed database product, whatever it is, and you want to share it with the people that are on a daily basis interacting with Azure Marketplace and Azure different resources, then we have Azure Marketplace where you can get your product published. But it's actually all under one marketplace term, and the backend cloud publishing portal or partner portal, it's the same. So you can actually, if you want to reach both of the audiences, you can have only one listing and then it will show up in both. So but to kind of like differentiate these two platforms a little bit. Yeah, and there are multiple ways how you can interact with the storefronts, AppSource and Azure Marketplace. You can start with only listing your product, so you don't need to give us the transaction. You don't need to make any procurement interactions or integration with our platform. You can just list it. Like it's kind of like putting an ad or putting a paper on a newspaper, like, yes, we have the solution, contact us, and that's about it. So it's only like a marketing opportunity for you. And then you can add functionalities like offering a trial where customers can then just open a trial environment and then test it out a little bit. Or then when it comes to add-ins like Teams apps, for example, it's bring your own licenses, so BYOL solution, so they can download it to their own environment as they already have the licenses, and then start trialing. And the kind of most advanced way of integrating with the marketplace is to then unlock the transaction opportunity. So actually us as Microsoft handling the transaction and the taxes and everything for you. So you just only need to focus on the selling part and we will do the rest. And then you will have the money from the transactions that you've had. We have the incentive program. So basically, this whole slide in one sentence, the more you sell, the more we give back. Very simple, very easy. If you sell seats, you get demand generations, co-sell, lead development, sales enablement through our this incentive programs. And then if you count your sales as a build sales, the more you sell, the more the revenue is for you, the more we give back. Super simple. We have specialized program managers to handle all this. And as you might be interested how to get started, we will be sharing these slides after the event. But basically you need to enroll as a partner, apply or publish your app in the marketplace by creating the marketing materials, and then presenter, and basically you're there, reaching all those customers. Thank you. And if there's any questions, we will be taking those later. Thanks.
Brilliant. Thank you, Mika and Inari. Yeah, as mentioned, the Q&A session will be held after the presentation, so there's 3 more to go. They're quite compact, so either memorize your questions or write them down. But yeah, please stick around for the Q&A session. Next, we'll hear from Anni Havas on how Cuckoo went on Teams, get some insights and practical information on how that went for them.
Nice to meet you all. My name is Annie and I come from Cuckoo. We have integrated with Microsoft Teams about a year ago. It was a little bit longer process than just that, but I am here to tell you more about what happened with our case, what we learned, and what maybe you can use from our experience. So I'm gonna first introduce what is Cuckoo, so you know what we integrated all in all. Then I'm gonna tell you how it actually happened, why we wanted to put Cuckoo in Teams, and yeah, about that. Then I'm gonna tell you about the learnings and the insights that we had, some maybe ideas that you can try to reach, or things that you can be prepared for. And then if you have any questions, we are happy to answer it here in panel. So, Cuckoo is basically a well-being application for companies to engage their employees to be more active during the working days. So they will be more productive, they will have less sick absences, and they will actually be more happy. So we encourage people to do these active things during their working days, and by this we can engage people to their organizations and increase commonality and gain a lot of good results in the internal communications. So, Cuckoo has been operating for about 8 years by ourselves. And what we wanted to do when the COVID pandemic hit us, we wanted to integrate Cuckoo to virtual working environments, because people were working in Teams, in Slack, in Google Meet, everywhere, and they were actually just doing all of their work in the same browser page or the same application. So we thought that it would be very simple for our customers and our end users to use the Cuckoo application inside Teams. Well, this was kind of funny because Microsoft had the same idea. They had done a kind of similar integration with Headspace in the States, and they found that it would be nice to have some kind of well-being application here also available for their Finnish customers and of course customers around Europe. So we had the same idea and we had a perfect match. So we got together and got thinking about it. So the idea presented itself in the autumn 2020, and it was no later than in March 2021 when Cuckoo was already found in Teams store. So in my opinion, it was quite fast from, of course, in startups we do everything fast, but with Microsoft everything was pretty smooth as well. And we had Cuckoo up and running there. And it was actually a very good like an enrichment for all of our customers to have access to Cuckoo also in Teams, but it was also a great way to introduce Cuckoo to Teams users, Teams customer companies. And why we originally wanted to contact and get engaged with Microsoft was that we found that Teams is by far the most used application in companies, and that was the way to reach as many people as we could. So that's why it was such a good match for us as well. So then something about the learnings and insights that we got. These pros or very good things that happened was that it was very, very simple to start using Cuckoo in Teams during your working day. You don't need to use any other web apps, any other browser pages. It's very easy for you and easy to also share with your colleagues. The onboarding was really simple for both the users and the companies. So how it happens is that you go to Teams App Store, then you type Cuckoo in there, and you download the app, and it's there with you in one of your Teams conversations. So it's here to remind you and very simple to use whenever. It also allowed us to make our customer deals bigger because it was very easy to share the Cuckoo accounts to all of the people in their companies. It didn't really matter where they were physically and what language they were communicating in and everything like this, because in Teams they all had the same access and it was really easy to communicate. And when we broadened our application service from our own app to also the Teams app, it offered us a really good situation to also improve our service. So even though the Cuckoo app that we have in Teams is a lighter version of the normal application, we were able to increase it with some other additional features that we don't have in the new normal app. So for example, we were able to collect this kind of emotion data of people, like how they were feeling before they took the break, how they were feeling after they took the break. And also we were able to engage people and make them smile with these funny break reminders. We could add some GIFs and some jokes, and people were really excited about that. So when you get a notification from Cuckoo Teams, it might be saying that, hey hottie, it's time for your break, or something like this. And it makes you smile during your working day. The learnings that we had and some things that maybe you can consider when you are joining these programs is that, for example, our customer companies, they differentiate a lot by their ways that they are using Teams. There might be these really big international thousands of people's companies, and they have quite strict rules in for example, what kind of applications their employees are allowed to download. So this was a bit of a surprise for us with our biggest customers, that it took quite some while when we had Cuckoo in Teams store that they weren't able to adopt it as fast as we thought. We also think that it was quite crucial for us to do an individual Teams Cuckoo launch for all of our customers, or at least like a joint one, because it's a really new way of using an application that they weren't used to. So this was, we've had some really great results when we did these individual launches, but of course it requires some planning and some time management, and we weren't maybe expecting that, but you can be prepared for that as well. And it's actually, it engages you with your customers and your audience even more when you offer an additional service like this. We had some great feedback from our biggest customers because they were really strongly integrated to Microsoft Teams. It's a part of their everyday life, and they found it very easy that we additioned a new way of using Cuckoo for them. So they were really grateful that we offered this new, very, very easy, simple way to use Cuckoo, and we were able to grow these deals as well. And of course, Microsoft Teams is an international company, and everyone knew it, so it was really good for increasing the awareness of Cuckoo as well. It was quite impressive to say that we're doing an integration with Teams, and we had some great results with that as well. Okay. If you have any questions later on, I will be happy to answer here, and let's connect in LinkedIn as well. Thank you.
Brilliant, thank you, Anni. A reminder of the QR codes, if you just want to get some new fancy swag, we've got Microsoft cups over there. I can see Keeper cups and some notebooks. Just scan the QR code and answer the questionnaire. Next up, we have our partner Arrow on stage to elaborate on their own startup program.
Hello everyone.
Hello everyone.
My name is Samuli Romppanen. I'm working as a business manager for Arrow ECS Finland.
Yeah. And I'm Niklas Kurki and I work as a field associate. And you can spot me here most days. So feel free just.
Good. So basically our job in Arrow ECS Finland is to help our Microsoft partners to take all out from the Microsoft technologies. And we are doing it variety of ways. And we are here today talk about the Arrow Cloud Innovation Factory program. But before we are hitting there, I think it's important to say a couple words about the Arrow ECS. Because let's face it, we are not as familiar company as Microsoft is. So if we are starting about the numbers, we are actually quite old company. We are not that young anymore. One could say that we are not startup anymore. We are actually founded in 1935, where we started in Manhattan, New York, to sell some radio parts, radio transistors, for example. Well, as businesses develop, so have we. Actually, last year our international revenue was $34.5 billion USD. Our Fortune ranking was 102, and we are New York Stock Exchange company. But what's actually behind these numbers is our three divisions, where Arrow Electronics, our parent company, is distributing globally different kind of electronic parts, sensors, semiconductors, smart devices, for example. And when top technology companies start to design new kind of products, we are there very likely to deliver some of the key components for their supply chains. And basically those products that they are designing can be anything from consumer electronics to industrial electronics, from coffee makers to mobile sets to cars and even to aerospace. Arrow Intelligent Solution, one of our subsidiaries, is in other hand presenting huge set of different kind of technology providers that is basically using the technology providers different kind of solution and products, and with those they are helping the customers to create different kind of solutions for embedded systems. So they are pretty much talking about the edge, the IoT things, or operational technology. And they are operating in sectors like healthcare, retail, and transportation. Then the last one, Arrow Enterprise Computing Solution, or Arrow ECS, as we like to say, the one who is paying my salary, is the technology company that is providing the top technology from different kind of technology providers, like Microsoft, to partners, different kind of partners like value-added resellers, system integrators, operators, etc. So in other words, in Finland, we have 60 different kind of vendors that our partners are using to create unique solutions for their customers. And if we are speaking about these vendors, their solutions are from data centers to the cloud, from AI to edge to security. And we are delivering these vendors with flexible deployment models. So it really doesn't matter whether it's like private cloud or hybrid cloud or multi-cloud. So if we are thinking about this from the partner's perspective, we can help our partner to find right solution. For example, Microsoft Azure. We can compile it with other solutions that help you to create different kind of even better products for your customer, or help you to serve it your customers. We train you, we educate you, so you can take basically all out from the technology. And then at the last, we might be able to help you to actually sell it. And when we are speaking about the Microsoft and SaaS partners like you, we have to speak about the Cloud Innovation Factory program.
Yes, let's do that. So, what Arrow does mostly is to provide a competitive Azure pricing and help you with Azure subscription management and all the technology providers. But we think that we can do more to create a win-win situation that creates benefits for all of us. And this is through our Cloud Innovation Factory program, which is EMEA-wide. And it's meant to those that acquire Azure through us. And the logic is quite simple with the program. As you grow, acquire new customers, and build a secure and scalable Azure infrastructure, your cloud consumption grows, and this benefits us. An Innovation Factory is the shared venue to boost this growth from both of our parts. And the Innovation Factory rests on 3 pillars. First, Arrow has a domestic and global reach, which we intend to put to use for you to find new customers. Secondly, the Innovation Factory includes a vast array of services and solutions that can be customizable to find your needs, to align with your needs. And also, I think it's important to stress because I think when I see at this room, I see a room full of free spirits. And the relationship with Arrow is meant to be non-binding. So if you don't find value, we can part our ways. It's our job to earn your trust and create value. So if we briefly dug deeper into these different pillars, as you can see here, we have a large global presence that we'd like to use to benefit you through our subsidiaries and their partners. So we view it a little bit further than just the Finnish market. And I know that you do it also. But of course, most of us have to show some promise here domestically first. This brings to our aspired role here in Finland as a matchmaker between you and your future customers. And the logic is quite simple. We have a vast network of solution providers, system integrators, and operators. And these have a very good traction with end customer IT departments. And our ambition is to find a common benefit that we could resell your solution through these partners to a suitable vertical. And I know that this doesn't fit all of your business models, but if you have an interest or a hinge that this could suit you, let's engage. Of course, this is nothing that comes as plug and play. We have to find a mutual benefit for all parties. But we see that there is very much upside for everyone. And I know that customer acquisition is a very hard part, very important part if you want to scale. And this is our second pillar. The services that are included in the innovation factory. But if we think about a SaaS startup that wants to scale fast with a tight budget, we think that lead generation, marketing campaigns, the use of our studio for content creation, coupled with technical support and training with regards to security and scalability in Azure, could be of interest. Of course, this is not a one-fits-all program. We have to find and carve out the collaboration together. And I also want to stress the notion here that it's a win-win situation that is non-binding. We have to find it together. But then how to work with us? First of all, be cloud native. Of course, many of you are. Secondly, move your Azure consumption to us. And we like to think it in this way that that you could see the Azure spend through us as credits in a sense that you can use in our program. And this brings to the final point, because you have to make us excited about your solution, that there is promise here, that we want to invest, because Arrow is also a large company with targets and bureaucracy and so forth, and finite resources. So a little bit like a VC, if we think that, whoa, okay, this is very exciting, then everything is possible, and we take you far away. So let's engage. Let's see what we can do together, and let's find common value together. Thank you. And now let's welcome Juhani from Simplified. He will briefly show you 2 slides, and then we have this more of an interview format. So I will ask a few questions from him.
Hi everyone, my name is Juhani, and I'm excited to be here. Thanks for the invite. Yeah, we are Simplified Solution. It's been actually quite exactly 1 year when we founded this Simplified Solutions with Jukka, who is on the back. And what we do, we are a company who helps to save time and money for our customers. And how we do that, we are doing different kind of low-code, no-code internal apps, and also these kind of virtual assistants, which gives the right answers to the employees when they just ask it. It works around the clock, and people don't need to wait any answers how to do things, and etc. And one big thing is also these kind of manual routine automations. So when you have less resources to use, you just need to get those work effective as possible, so don't do the manual works. Here we have one example of our virtual assistant, how it works in the integration in Teams. No moro. Mä oon tässä töissä vielä. Pakko tehdä loppuun tää tarjous. Joo. Mä tuun tästä ihan just niin. Noniin, hyvä. Jes, moi. No niin, enää tarvii laittaa referenssit ja viime vuoden taloustiedot. No nehän on täällä intrassa. Tässähän niitten pitäisi olla. Missäs helkkarissa ne nyt on? Hei, Pero tietää tää. Ei perkele, ei täällä oo ketään. Ei hemmetti. Mitä mä nyt teen? That was an example of how it works on Teams, and I think you, Niklas, have some questions for me.
Yeah, very nice presentation. Thank you, Juhani. So it would be interesting to hear. Maybe you can just sit down. To hear a little bit about you and maybe a little bit about how you have worked with Arrow previously, to get a sense of that. So who are your main customers now and on that side?
Yeah, we have actually a couple sweet spots, and on the virtual assistant side it's more like 80 to 200 people, and they need to have different kind of sections on inside the company, so the internal information is not that handy moving, and so they need help on that.
All right.
And the other sweet spot is on the manual routine work automations. It's more like of smaller companies which don't have that much time to spend on things, and so we want to take the workload off.
And is it vertical specific? Do you have any specific industry that find this, or is it really general?
At this point, it seems to be quite general, and actually there has been some surprising customers also. So it's been interesting.
All right. Is it something you want to share? Is it?
Not at this point.
Okay,
Maybe we will share it by case study.
Okay, that's fine. We want to hear that. So where do you want to be in 5 years? I mean, 5 years here is maybe far away, but what do you think about the future? Where do you see yourself? 3 to 5 years.
Drinking sangria in Bahamas.
That's good. That's good. Exit and.
Yeah. No. Perfect. Actually, the other path is maybe. I would like to say that we have grown a lot and created more jobs for people, and that would be great.
Yeah, I think I like that creating jobs aspect. That I think that's something that we also mentioned here in Maria. This impacting the community and being a force for good. So this is of course a very wanted development. But how did you come up working with Arrow then?
Actually, we had history together in early before we launched our company, and I don't think that we had even any other partner at mine. So
of course
you were the only one.
Yeah. Sounds quite reasonable. Our market research suggests the same.
Yeah.
So we're aligned. But what benefits have then the Innovation Factory program provided you in different areas?
Actually, the video was made with you and with in your office, and your editing skills and all those came in handy. And of course, there has been cases with customers, then you have provided us more solutions to sell, and we have grown our business on that way. So it has been beneficial.
Yeah. And so, have you saved any resources working with us? Of course, you can see that this was a resource, but how on the resource side have you saved any working with us?
Yeah, of course, we are using your platforms at Azure and all that, and it was the main thing in our business, and it's really easy, scalable, and so actually one thing what we need to figure out is the inner speech about the marketplace and all that, so we could get the assistant in that.
Yeah, I saw that you were listening quite closely, so good that you also get something out of this, just being waked up early in the morning. Yeah.
That's normal with the small kids.
Yeah, I have a 1-year-old too, so it is what it is. If we think about generally the audience here, what do you think about like partnering up with, like the importance of partners and not doing everything on your own? What is your sense on this?
Yeah, at this point we have a couple partners doing business with us, and of course we are looking more if there comes this kind of match made in heaven. Of course we can work together, and we can discuss those later.
Yeah, I think those were my questions, and should we ask the whole team have some discussion here? You can join us. Thank you, Johan.
Thank you.
So, thank you for the most insightful chats and presentations. This is the Q&A bit, so please, if you have any questions, just signal with a hand raise or something. We have Jessica over here with a microphone, ready to give you the stage and ask questions from the lovely panelists we have here. But not to worry, we also have questions prepared, and actually some of the questions were sent in via the registration form, so I'll start with them. I think this one would go to Inari. I know you mentioned this already in your presentation, but if you could briefly go over, how can one add their SaaS solution to Azure Marketplace?
Okay, very simple question, not so simple answer, but like I shared in my presentation, the first step is to get onboarded in our Microsoft Partner Network program. So it's basically just signing up with your work email, and that'll do it. Then we provide every partner this partner portal or partner center where you can upload then marketing information, product descriptions that you have of your solution. And if you want to just make a listing and just make your product visible, that's basically the only thing you need to do. Just marketing material, press publish. It will run through pre-checks, and then it will get published. If a customer interacts with your listing, you will get the lead straight to your own CRM, so we won't be storing or checking out those things to you. So it's very, very automatic. But if you want to integrate with the transaction option, then you actually need to also do a technical integration with our payments API. It's not technically difficult thing to do because it's just basically hosting the transaction, and it's kind of like we get the information when the customer makes an order, then we forward that information to you. You put up the environment and send back the check that everything's up and running, so we can start the billing. That can be done with decent programmer in 2 days because we have everything, the code snippets, everything's readily made. But if there's then some custom metrics that you want to build, then of course it's a little bit more technically intense, but not too much. So we have integrated everything between user-based, very simple contract management solution up to critical mission, this surveillance product, which is built through input-output data metrics. So, and everything in between. So it doesn't, like, whatever you want to build from your customer, we can do it. And then it just depends if we have it readily made for you or not, then if it's technically difficult or not. So, but yeah, from 2 days to half a year, everything in between. And not to worry, we have a lot of ready-made stuff for you. So it's not difficult, maybe.
Great, thank you. Next one, I think Anni, and maybe Inari, but Anni mainly. So let's say you distribute your products on Teams, but say anyone goes on any marketplace platform, who's responsible for supporting the customers?
Oh yeah. First, I think it's always us who supports the customers because we communicate with them actively, so they will come to us when they have any issues. But the Teams app that we integrated, it also has these automated answers that the customers can easily look for, and they have. We had a really thorough questions and answers page and help pages and everything, but we are the ones who communicate, and if we don't know something, we always have backup help from the Microsoft team, and we actually had a lot of that, and many different occasions when the Microsoft team was there to help us and educate us in every kind of way and how we can communicate best to our customers. But I think it's always easiest because you know your product and you know your customers, so you're the convenient link.
Yeah, and just make an addition. It really depends on where the problem is. So for example, if I would have problems in logging into Cuckoo app in my Teams, then I would probably go and call them, like, what's up? Do we have a license up and running? Or if you have any problems in your authentication. But then if I would then have some problems like overall with my Teams experience, of course, then it like turns to Microsoft and whether I have, like as a company, if we have any support programs or support tickets that we then need to open. And in general, when we have software as a service companies in our partner field, we strongly recommend them to also have like their own support like program in place, so that they have a ready-made guidelines whenever there's an issue with their environment that they can escalate, and they have the right connections to have it solved through our channels. So if it's more technical, then I recommend to have some kind of like support program over there. But yeah, if it's a product problem, then to the product company. But then if it's a platform problem, then usually it's Microsoft.
Makes perfect sense. So Niklas, what's the difference between SaaS and ISV?
I think the first time I was introduced with the so lovely ISV abbreviation when I started at Microsoft. Before that, I only talked about SaaS, but I would say that it's a very technical corporate term. And I think SaaS companies don't even want to be discussed as ISVs. I think I was at Microsoft last year. Our internal marketing research is like, maybe we can find some other. I wouldn't say that there is so much difference. I think those that see themselves as SaaS is maybe the repeatable way. I think it's more of a corporate term. I think they are quite the same, so they shouldn't be. If we hear some corporate jargon, ISVs, it means you if you sell a SaaS solution. So.
What's it short for?
ISV.
Yeah.
Independent software vendor. So this is what it is.
Great, thank you. Juhani, I know you had a little chat there with Niklas about learnings and how you managed to leverage on the Arrows program, but how did you find the program? How did you end up taking part of it?
Actually, it went through like most of it. It was like an ad hoc meeting. We just talked about the partnership with Arrow, and we told them what our services are, and Tommy from the back told us that there's this kind of program and we should apply it and all that, so here we are.
Great, ad hoc, that's the best.
Yeah, I think we want to stress that we are a very agile team. As I said, I'm here, just have a chat in the same way, ad hoc, and I might be staring a little bit, processing, okay, do, where in our, say, ecosystem you fit in, and follow-up questions. So, and then we're starting.
Yeah, it was easy.
Great. Do we have any questions in the audience?
I'm Nico from Comparables AI. So I'm not a technical person. I'm not sure if I'm the only one here, but I've been always struggling to understand what's the difference between the different cloud providers and the services. So how would you summarize the difference between Azure and, let's say, AWS? And the second question is that is it typical to have multiple cloud providers, for example, building these kind of cloud-to-cloud pipelines to run the system more smoother?
Okay, good questions. I can take it. When it comes to differentiating Azure from AWS and Google, of course, different brands, but the basics of cloud computing is still the same. What are the main differentiators here is that we have a very strong focus on, for example, security. So we provide Azure AD, which is a largely used authentication method and the whole functionality for the companies. So it's not only just managing your cloud platform, but when you have your identity included on top of that, you can make sure and be fully sure that it's securely done, and whoever controls your cloud environment, it's only role-based access, which means that like when you're talking with the customers, you can make sure and build that trust when you're saying that we're using Azure, we have Azure AD, we have role-based access, and the highest security measures taking into account in our cloud platform. And I think that's one of the main differentiators, is that you don't only have the cloud resources, you get the security and everything on top of that, which builds trust, which is then needed to do the sales, so to the business end. And the other question was?
Is it typical to have like multiple?
Multi-cloud, yes. Okay, it depends on the company. So if, for example, you are developing different algorithms or different AI engines to run in cloud, and you are making business so that you install actually your algorithms or your engine to your customer's cloud environment, then of course you need to do your business based on that customer's cloud choice of cloud. So then it's only natural to build on each cloud if you want to serve as many customers as you want. Then if the customers don't get to decide the cloud platform that you are using, of course, I recommend Azure. Naturally, that's not a surprise. But then, and that's just because when it comes to like latencies and providing easily accessible and as scalable and as cost efficient service to your customers, it's probably not the best way to make many cloud-to-cloud connections. It's not only very expensive, but also increases the latencies in the service that you're offering. So then I would totally recommend then choosing one strategic cloud, and if needed, then expanding to other clouds if there's no other options.
And if I can briefly add to that, if we think about the differences, positioning of the different clouds, the Azure cloud is used by quite a large amount of enterprise customers or large corporations. So if you want to get a foot in there, Azure is quite a good platform compared maybe to Google or Amazon, who have focused on early startups and SaaS companies. So this is also one aspect, and Inari mentioned also on the technicalities why this is the case.
Hi, Peter Green from Rehabu. Maybe for Anni and Inari, how hard or easy it was to integrate into Teams as a service?
Well, it was not hard. It was, we had really good help from Inari and our help center team, but it took some time, and of course it took a lot of focus from our own development team and our own product team, and of course, as a startup, you're not used to these corporation manners, so it depends where you're looking it from. So if you're used to doing everything as startups do like this, of course, then it might seem complicated, but I at least thought that it was such a big transformation for us and such a great possibility that, it's not gonna happen overnight. So we weren't surprised about that. But of course, surprises came along the way, a lot of them. And we had some late nights that we were thinking about, like, how are we going to solve this? How are we going to stay in schedule? And we didn't stay in schedule, but that also happens. And we were, we handled it. And we were pleased.
All right. So very nice words from you. And from, like, in general point of view, what is the main, like, what's the most difficult thing when you're integrating with Teams? Is to actually have a use case ready. So it's not just having your app experience or having your web app and then just showing everything that what you have in the product inside of Teams. It's not just that. You need to have your core use case in mind. What are the core interactions that people are making with your app? What is the most important thing that you want to bring into Teams? Because you cannot just have everything there. And then you need to, it's like from technical point of view, you only create the JSON file which have some like pointers to different URLs. So from the technical point of view, it's not that difficult, but which is the most difficult is to actually know Teams as a platform. What are the platform capabilities? What kind of collaboration features you might want to include with your Teams app, such as chat bots or instant messages to different people, or like Teams meets that you can then just have straight from your app, or whatever it is, but just to make it as Teams as possible, but still maintaining your own brand and own user experience. I think that's the hardest part. And where we struggled with Cuckoo was that we actually have this validation team, which will then go through the app from the eyes of a person who has never seen it. So, and they will give you the feedback, and they will push it back if there's something that's not logical, or something is not working, or some explanation form somewhere is missing, or your logo is a different color from in different places. So that's the kind of feedback that you will be getting, and it's very thorough, and sometimes that's the most annoying part, when you have everything figured out, you have built the app, and then you press publish, and then the validation teams comes to you like, no, it's not working, we don't understand why is this here, and why this is this color, the user experience is shit, and then you need to think it everything again. So we have a very tight validation part before anything gets published, and that's the hardest part. Yeah.
Got it. So you have a process for it.
Well, of course we have a process for it. We have.
All right. Thanks very much.
Thank you. That's all the time we have today. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of our lovely guests. And yes, as mentioned, so Microsoft and Arrow are partners with Maria 01. You can find the contact information on the portal. Inari and Niklas are both on our Slack. You can DM them there. If you have any extra questions or want to set up a meeting with them, please do feel free to do so. And yes, as I'm sure everyone else would like to be also connected on LinkedIn, so just go and add them on LinkedIn and let's get connected. Great, thank you so much.
Thanks.